Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Moana Nui podcast here at BlerDCon 2024. We are here with the amazing Atandwa Kani. Many of you probably know him from Black Panther, but we're really excited to talk to him about the show. But before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about family aspect because we're Native Hawaiian Pacific Islanders, Ohana, and family is important to us. So you come from a family of actors as a son who actually portraying King T'Chaka on the Black Panther, but your father played your father. So what was it like working with your dad on set?
You see, one of my biggest dreams as an actor of being raised by this great man was always to work with him. Because the actor you see, I've watching him on stage a lot of the time, and the actor you see on stage is not the person that you see at home.
Yeah, correct.
So everybody that comes up to him like, oh my God, I love you, John, I love you. I'm like, I don't know this guy. I know the guy that screams at me because the dishes haven't been washed or the dogs haven't eaten or whatnot. So working with him has always been the highlight of my career, and I've worked with him on several productions. We did a short film, The Suit, we did The Island, we did The Tempest at the Royal Shakespeare Company, where he played Caliban, I played Ariel. So in Black Panther, we had this opportunity, but we played the same character.
Yes.
Just younger and older, so we were never in the same scene. But just having him there, because there were days that we were all called to set, and just having my dad there was just absolutely phenomenal. And people always ask me, like, what's the highlight of your career? I'm like, working with my old man.
Yeah, definitely. That relationship with a father and son is super special.
It is indeed.
And I just love how you talked about, like, no, that's not the person that I know.
No.
Because I feel like everyone, when they're talking to, like someone's talking to you about your parent and you're like, I don't know who that person is.
Right, and they're all nice, and they're nice to people. Like, oh, hi.
Yes,
Like, well,
we love your mother.
Never seen this nice person before. Like, where did you come up with this? What is this? What's going on? What is this? What's all this?
Yes, so that's amazing. I really love that. So in your role as King T'Chaka on Black Panther, what kind of impact do you think you've had on young viewers of color, looking for heroes who look like them, who represent them, and who can relate to the experience of that character?
That's the whole thing, isn't it? It's representation.
Mm-hmm.
It's being able to see yourself in certain positions in order to dream. Like if you've never seen it, it's hard to dream it. It's hard to manifest it because you're always disrupted by the negativity that the world has thrown at you. Mm-hmm. So you start to focus on that. And I think Black Panther, even when we watched it, we were inspired because we had never seen the full product.
Right.
But to see Black images on screen and see it work beautifully and see that the lighting can assist, to see that the cinematography can work as a whole, to see that we can be celebrated. We don't need to be celebrated in reference to. We don't need to be celebrated because something's happened to us.
Yes.
We can just be a people.
Simply being, yes.
And we can be celebrated for that. And I think it's the utmost, it's the pinnacle of existence. To celebrate one another,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't have as much growing up, but the young generation, the young kids today, it's insurmountable. It's priceless to give them this gift, to give the world this gift, that it's going back to the origin, it's Africa based. It's going back to the progression of Africans to tell the true story of, the politics of colonization, to educate people about that aspect. So not shy away from it and be like, once upon a time in this faraway land, we were rich and free. It's a true story. Africa is that. Africa has those minerals that is, vibranium in the story.
Yeah.
So this, as much as it's a fictional story, but it's based on such truth.
Mm-hmm.
The foundation of it is such truth, and I think it's incredible to connect Africa to, Africa to America and bring that closer together. And I was saying earlier today is that we need to combine those forces. There's a reason why we were separated and told lies about each other, because once we combine and find that unity, we are so powerful. It's unstoppable.
100%. Yeah, my husband and I talk about that all the time, and it was beautiful to see the diversity of the cultures of Africa within the movie and just have it celebrate a little bit, like some rivalry, but I mean, all in a good way, right? So I absolutely love that you addressed that. But speaking about cultures and the importance of identity and diversity and being seen, can you tell us the story about your name, Atwanda, and its cultural significance for you?
So Atandwa So I'll paint this picture for you. If you ever, just early in the morning, as the sun starts to rise,
Yes.
there's that first glimpse of the sun that you see that kind of blinds you, but just compels you to look on. And then it starts to bleed all over the mountains and onto the plains, through the rivers and into your soul. My name has nothing to do with any of that. My name...
But like this beautiful. that was poetic.
My name is derived from Atandwa, which means he or she is loved. So Atandwa means the loved one. And I'm one of 8 children in my family.
Okay.
And I think my parents needed to name me that because they were sick and tired of all of us by that point. They're like, we have to love this one. We have to give him a name to constantly remind us to love this one. Why is he even here? Atandwa. So yes, my name means the loved one, and especially at BlerDCon, I'm truly feeling the meaning of my name.
That's awesome. So are you the youngest in your family?
I'm not. I am not. I'm 6 of 8.
Okay.
There were 2 other rugrats that come after me. I was the last born though for 7 years, and my sister spoiled that.
So just when you thought it was over.
Because I was getting everything. You know, I was the one. I was the chosen one. The next thing, my mother's belly started, and I knew it. I was like, I knew something's happening here.
Something's amiss.
Something's awry. Something's afoot.
Oh, that's awesome. I always love hearing stories about families and, like that, the interplay between the sibling dynamics there. So, we want to talk a little bit about South Africa. What's one thing that you wish people knew about South Africa and what makes it special?
Oh my gosh. The tranquility of the place. How much you feel the connection to your soul when you're there, to your roots. I talk to a lot of African Americans, and what really hurts me is that they agree that their history does not predate slavery. But it does. It has to. And the saddest part is that your point of existence, your point of push off, it's slavery. So we know each other from slavery, and then all life happened. But before that, there was queendoms and kingdoms and princes, and there was land, and there was just minerals and beauty and tranquility and love, and that energy still exists over there.
Right.
So whenever I go home after being here for a few years, you take a deep breath, and you're just like, yeah, I feel the roots. I feel where I am from. And that often happens to people that weren't even born there. Like any African American that visits, you hear the stories. I kissed the ground when I landed there, and it was amazing. Well, there's a reason that you're compelled to do certain things like that, is that energy takes over you, and you just want to give gratitude. You just want to say thank you. Yeah. Thank you for existing, for still being here. Thank you for welcoming me back home.
Yes.
So I wish people understood that. And you will be loved. The love that people in South Africa give is it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I just come back from there, and I started greeting people in New York, and I got a rude awakening and a reminder that I'm not at home anymore. Because people are like, yo, you want to know you, son? I'm like, no, I was just saying hello. But anyway, my bad, bro.
Yes, I can totally relate to that as being someone who's from Hawaii, and it's very similar, like our connection to the land and the feeling with your soul. So like when you're saying this, I'm like, yes, I know what you're saying. So I love it. I hope I get to visit South Africa one day. I've been to Nigeria and to the Congo, but not to South Africa yet. So last question as we're closing up. As a South African actor, how do you see the evolution of diversity and representation in Hollywood and global media? Because it's not just Hollywood, like it's global media.
Oh, of course, but Hollywood is a huge stepping stone. Hollywood is a huge jumping off point, because that branches off to many other sectors. If you can see it again, you can believe it. And that's what we're working on. There's a mission here. It's not just the exposition of different Black cultures or brown cultures. It's everything. We have the inclusivity. We've got equality when it comes to business and other sectors in the arts industry, about pay equality for women and African, Black and brown women in the industry.
Yes.
It's about this kind of an exposition where I was not even sure that there were so many Black nerds that were so, oh my gosh, like people who knew so much about this culture.
Yes.
Because where I'm from, we don't have the luxury to immerse yourself in such a world. It's very political. You got to get going.
Yeah.
You got to start doing stuff. You got to make change. You got to start pushing for equality. It's always art has always been known as a weapon for us.
Yes.
So to see this, I already see the progression. I already see the change. I already see. It's just that we got to keep on at it.
Yes.
There can't be a point where we get all complacent and stop because we'll plateau, and then we'll just fall back into the rhythms of the historical suppression and all that. So we need to keep going. We can't be comfortable. Whenever we get a little bit, we need to push for more. We have to.
Yes.
Because we exist and we are here.
Yes, it's constant evolution.
You cannot deny us. You cannot deny us.
Yes.
We are everywhere. And we're here to stay.
That's right. That's right. We ain't going nowhere. We're here. That's awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us here at the Moana Nui podcast at BlerDCon. For our listeners, where is the best place for them to follow you online?
Oh, online, there's X, there's Facebook, there's Instagram. All of them are Atandwa Kani. That's ATANDWAKANI.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand,
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if we put Hawaii in a perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course, versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course, cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we